Hi, everybody. How's it going? This is a new edition of stinkbaitTV. We have episode four, um, modern slavery. Let's find out a little bit more. What are we talking about here? This is going to be a solo show, by the way. AKA, I couldn't get anybody to come on the show today. Plus, I wanted to get something out a little bit earlier before we have a really good episode coming out tomorrow. So please stay tuned for that. Um, but yeah, figured you guys just might want to hear me talk a little bit. Um, we're here on Stinkbait TV talking our shit like we always do. And so let's just go ahead and get it started. Let's just get into the topics and see if I can make this roll solo and actually come out with some good content. Fingers crossed. Anyways, we got Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors. What do we all think about that? Me personally, I haven't been out of basketball for a while, so I'm trying to get back into it and learn it as much as I can again. But I do know Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a solid player, but is he a star? Is Jimmy Butler actually a star? I mean, he's an all-star, but it seems like anybody in the NBA right now has a chance to be an all-star. You just kind of stand out from the pack a little bit. He's good. He's a winner. I can give him that. I think that Jimmy Butler might be a glorified role player, to be honest with you. I saw him at the 76ers. He was pretty good, but he didn't do anything for him. He didn't get him to where they needed to go. He was pretty good at the Heat. He didn't get him to where they needed to go. And you can blame it on ownership. You can blame it on the help on your teammates and everything like that. But for him to not stay at Philadelphia, the 76ers, and try to win a championship there, that's the team to try to make something happen with. I understand now going to Golden State. Yeah, I mean he have a chance to actually get a ring and compete for a ring like he's been trying to do. Um, or is that what he's actually trying to do? Is that what his goal is? Is he trying to win a championship, or is he trying to get the you know, most money out of the NBA as possible? Which I understand that makes sense. Um, go moving to Golden State and getting that huge contract that he got, which I'm not 100% sure what was all part of that trade. So let me just go ahead and take a look at it right now, and we can see just exactly what the details of this trade are, and we can kind of break that down because Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, obviously, and then you got Draymond Green. Steph Curry, yes, is still a solid player. He give him the right pieces, he's still going to be able to make a running for an NBA championship. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler that right piece to make that happen? Maybe, but I think that the guy has a huge ego, and he's gonna have to get over that ego in order to be able to actually contribute to a championship team instead of just making a deep run. I mean, but do the Golden State Warriors, do they still have another one in them? I think after that last one against the Boston Celtics, which I did watch that game, watch that series. That was great. That was a great series by Stephen Curry. Um, good stuff. But do I think that they are in the position to be able to do that again? No, I don't think so. And I think we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, talking about who really is the top contenders of the league. Gabe said San Antonio Spurs are going to be up there. I say Oklahoma City Thunder because I'm taking a look at what's going on, and I see Shy Gillis Alexander. I hope I said that right. Shy Gillis um, scores 50 points. Drops another 50-point game, and I would say this is. I need to look that up too so that I can be correct. But let's look at Jimmy Butler trade, and I'll go one topic at a time. Sorry about that. Jimmy Butler trade. Let's see what these details are. Sorry, Twitter can show you just anything but what you were looking for. You know what? I'm just going to show you guys what I'm looking at so that We don't. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. We can do that. All right. There we go. I don't know why it took so long, but it's trying to let you guys see it right now. Okay. So Jimmy Butler, who won the Jimmy Butler trade? I don't know what this means. Maybe I think that it's her just posting that. Why would you post a picture of yourself on that? Let's see. Draymond Green after being told about the Jimmy Butler trade. Look at this motherfucker. Oh, that's Mike Tyson. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. All right. But I need to see details. Okay. Okay. This trade is wild. Warriors get Jimmy Butler. Okay. Nice. The Heat are going to get Andrew Wiggins. Okay. Let's go ahead and stop the tape right there because I did not see that that was a part of the trade. Andrew Wiggins has been solid for the Warriors, and especially if you've been watching. I really watch the playoffs and try to watch the finals or whatever. But the playoffs is whenever it has my attention. Jimmy Butler, or not Jimmy Butler, sorry, Andrew Wiggins has been going off for the Warriors the last few years. He's been a solid piece, um, to their puzzle. PJ Tucker, okay, that makes sense. But Andrew Wiggins, I think losing him is for Jimmy Butler and how much shit that he has going on outside outside of basketball. Yeah, I think this is a terrible trade. I think this is going to work out terribly, and it's going to be a huge waste of money. It's going to fuck Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, and really just fucks the validity of the Golden State Warriors. Terrible trade. Let's see. Pistons get Lindy Waters, Josh Richardson. See, we're getting into people that I have no idea who I have no idea who these guys are. Dennis Schroeder, I do know him, is going to the Jazz. And let's go ahead and get to Dennis Schroeder because he had some interesting comments over the week, over the last few days that kind of just stuck with me and it did inspire the title of this video as well. So let's get to exactly what he had to say, just so that I can make sure that I'm not misquoting him or anything like that. Just to give you a little bit of context, it says right here, Dennis Schroeder on being traded again. Man, I feel like I keep getting auctioned off. Since he got traded 4 times in the matter of 24 hours, I kind of understand that, but let's let's go back. Let's go to the actual quote that I'm looking for. If you guys can just give me one moment. Here we go. So Dennis Schroeder compares the NBA trade deadline to slavery. It's like modern slavery. It's modern slavery at the end of the day. Everybody can decide where you're going, even if you have a contract. Yeah, of course, we make a lot of money and we can feed our families. But at the end of the day, if they say you're not coming to work tomorrow, you're going over there, they can decide that. They got they got to change that a little bit. Um, I understand the frustration of being traded 24 or traded to 4 different teams in 24 hours. That sucks. After building rapport with that team that you were on for that season and everything, I completely get it. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, Dennis Schroeder is from Germany. Um, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have any ties to the United States or maybe slavery that happened here in the United States. Probably does. If I had to guess, probably in some shape or form, maybe in his family knows someone who might have went through slavery. The only reason that I bring this up is comparing the NBA trade deadline to slavery feels like it would be very disrespectful for anybody who actually went through slavery. Um, because obviously nobody's getting paid millions to go through slavery. And yeah, of course you're not able to you're not being you're not making a lot of money. You're not feeding your family. Um, I don't know. It's just a very, very weird comment to try to make and try to revert it back to that type of stuff. Um, I mean, it just seems like everything is racist. Everything has to be drawn back to something that has to do with race, uh, or or something like that. I don't know. I think it's very annoying. I think it's been going on for the last couple of years in sports more and more and more. And I think it has to do with a big reason as to why maybe some sports are just not as important or not as fun to watch anymore. Because it does feel like a lot of political stuff is kind of being shoved down our throats anytime that they have a chance to do it. So, um, and I can give you a few examples of what's on off the top of my head and everything. Um, the NBA has been talking about their ratings going down. And let's be realistic, them having their ratings going down, they're still making money. Like there's still money to be made. They're selling out a lot of these arenas, and um, they're still having viewers. It's just not as much as they're used to. But what's the answer to that? I think that it has to do a lot with I mean, I know a lot of people have said it. If you go woke, you go broke. And it does definitely seem like that is the formula in what is playing out every single time. It doesn't happen immediately, but I think pandering to everybody, trying to pander to everybody, it's kind of condescending in a lot of ways. If I was that person that was getting pandered to 24/7, then I would kind of see it as condescending at some point, and I would probably lose interest in what I'm watching. The NBA, I haven't watched it in the last 2 or 3 years. Um, a lot of the NBA head coaches feel the need to give their political um, endorsements and everything. Yeah, so I don't know, and give their 2 cents in on whatever they feel needs to be talked about in the world. I get that. They're an individual and they have the right to do that. 100%. That's great. But to promote it um, is a little bit weird to me, and it seems like you're kind of trying to push an agenda. And I think that's why the NBA sucks now. Um, because I mean, they try to do it the same thing in the NFL. I think a lot of the things are kind of changing a little bit. I think even if they do, even with football though, it's different from basketball. Because here in America, football is gonna top everything. Like it's ratings wise and everything in the middle. The Super Bowl, football, like the NFL is on top. You know, the NBA is here. They're good. They're still on top of a lot of others, but the NFL is the top of the top. And I think that they've kind of cooled it with some of everything is racist. And it's crazy. I was racist for a long time until I saw stop racism in the NFL end zone, and I was like, you know what? Why am I being racist? Isn't it so silly of me to be racist whenever the NFL is saying stop racism? It seems pretty simple. It also seems pretty gay to leave that out there and do that for like 2 or 3 seasons. I mean, it's annoying. We all understand that, and I think that you telling anybody that is probably the most retarded thing that you could do. But and it's very condescending. Um, I think most of us in the real world, in reality, don't give a damn about what another person's race is or what color they are. Um, it's just it's like you're trying to give a lessons to a whole bunch of like pre-Kers or something like that. Like you're treating us as if we're children and can't understand to choose love or stop racism or whatever saying they want to put on the end of the end zone. I just think all of it's extremely gay, and I'm glad that they're starting to change it up a little bit, and they're going to be changing it up for the Super Bowl. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. How am I doing for my first solo cast, by the way? Because I'm definitely rambling. I know that. All right, let's just get back to the topics. Let's stick to the topics, let's, yeah, I think that's a lot more to the point. How long do we give Bronny James? I was just talking to my good friend Hunter, which, by the way, everybody pray for him. He's back in the hospital getting a blood transfusion today, so that's why he couldn't be on. But anyways, he said he said that Bronny has the potential to be a very, very good role player. And I honestly, after hearing that, I think that I can, I can agree with him. He did bring up the fact that he had that heart issue and everything before coming into the league. I think it might have happened before USC, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. He didn't spend a lot of time in USC. He's been playing pretty good in the G League. I will give him that. I have been watching that. I do see highlights of that. He's playing pretty good in the G League, which is pretty good. He's played pretty disappointing in the actual league. I think that he made one 3-pointer, which is good. I mean, probably I mean, it's more 3-pointers than I've ever made. So, um, I can talk shit from my gamer chair, but at the same time, is he going to be great like his dad, like Kobe, like the greats? No, I don't think that he's going to be that, but I think he's going to be a great role player, um, somebody that you can really trust. And if he can build it, he can grow into that. He's not that right now, but I think that the ceiling for him is going to be great role player. Maybe if he gets on a good team, good situation, he's on the Lakers right now, so he might get a championship this year, especially having Luca on the team. Which I'm not exactly sure how that's going to look until I see it. But LeBron and Luca, Austin Reeves, and whoever else is on the team, that's a pretty good squad, and it's going to be pretty hard to stop in that whenever it comes playoff time, because you have LeBron who has the most experience in those high pressure type of games, and you have Luca right behind him. That's a good combination. That's a good trade that they made. Um, and there is some other stuff on that one, but we'll come back to that. I give Bronny, that's his ceiling. If he can get to that, I give him about 5, 6 years before they're like, ah, fuck it, we're done with it. We're gonna move on. If he can develop like the way that he needs to, he's got all the resources around him to be able to do that. All he's got to do is stick with the program, get better and better every day, better and better every year, and that's going to be a ceiling. He can be a great role player, get himself a ring. He's got all the money in the world. He doesn't really have to worry about anything like that. Just worry about your legacy, and I think he can be a good player, but he's not going to be a star. Good role player. Now the floor for him is being out of the league as soon as his dad retires or whatever. But even the floor for him, that's still not a bad situation for him. He's still going to get money. He's still going to get paid. He's already got paid. So I think that I think this, yeah, the floor for him would probably be a couple of years, or yeah, the floor for him is not really getting a starting job, starting role on a team, and just staying in the G League, which is very possible. I think that's very possible. Like that could happen. Um, but the ceiling for him is to get better, become a good role player, and get on a good team, possibly win a championship, or get on a bad team and just grind it out. But yeah, that's how long I give Bronny. How long do I give him though? Just to actually answer the question, I give him max 5 years to get to that. Um, to get to a point where he's better. But if he can't do it in 5 years, go ahead and call it quits. But will they? Probably not. Somebody will probably get him and keep him on the roster because he can sell tickets with just his last name. Um, So I don't know. I think that that's actually probably possible as well. But being an actual player in the lineup, getting minutes, not playing in the G League, I'll give him 5 years. But he doesn't really need it that much. It's just how bad does he want it? That's the question. So we'll see. I just hit my tooth trying to drink some coffee there. Mm. All right. So all right, let's get into the NFL a little bit. Why not? NFL, we only got a few weeks to talk about it. Whenever we get into that spring football time, I have a few ideas for a couple of shows that I want to do that are all going to be under Stinkbait TV. So don't worry, you'll be able to find everything right under here. Um, but anyways, XFL is going to be coming up after this, and I'm going to have to choose a team in that. Choose a few players, try to maybe reach out to a few players, try to see if I can get them on, and just kind of go from there. More football to follow. So here we are. Stinkbait TV is on it. But anyways, NFL wise, let's go to Saquon over to the greatest running back of all time, Saquon Barkley, the greatest running back of all time. He needs 40 more yards in this Super Bowl game in order to have the most rushing yards, regular season and playoffs included. He has a chance to become the literally to staple himself in his name in the history books, and he has a chance to get his first Super Bowl. Um, this is great. This is big. Something came up in an interview that I did see just the other day that I was like, oh shit. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about this. What does this mean? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Saquon has never played against Kansas City. Never. Look it up right now. Go and look up all of Saquon Barkley's stats against Kansas City. You will see that his team did play them, I think one time, whenever he was at New York, and he was injured. So he did not play. So he has never played Kansas City. And right now, and I saw that, I'm getting my sources directly from Saquon Barkley in the interview said that he has never played Kansas City. So has Saquon Barkley played Kansas City? Okay. Well, none of this is showing. Okay. You know what? We'll forget about that. We'll forget about fact checking and all of this type of stuff. I got it from Saquon Barkley himself. Did I talk to him? Absolutely not. One day I will. But now I saw him in an interview. Said he's never played Kansas City before. This is going to be his first time playing them in the Super Bowl. Um, you think about it, you think back on it. The Giants have not been in the running for the Super Bowl for a long time. I definitely haven't been in a actual Super Bowl. Um, in a long time. So yeah, of course they haven't played the Kansas City, or of course Saquon hasn't played Kansas City. Um, I guess it's a coincidence that he didn't play him whenever he was injured, but yes, I think that does say something to on Saquon's behalf, where he haven't played Kansas City. We got to get ready for Kansas City, right? Um, but you also have it on the other hand. Kansas City has never played Saquon. They've never I think that Saquon Barkley is the best running back that is best running back. I think it's him and Derrick Henry. In the last 20 years, those are one and two. And right now, one of them has made it to the playoffs, or the one of them has made it to the Super Bowl, and one of them hasn't. So Saquon, number one, he's got to be number one. He's about to break the record. Saquon's got to be the number one running back out of the last 20 years. Um, you think about that. Has Kansas City seen a running back like Saquon. I just covered Saquon has never played a defense like Kansas City. They've played a defense like them before, but not Kansas City's defense, right? Never actually played Kansas City's defense against that coordinator, against Spagnola, against Andy Reid, against all of them, against the boys, against the refs. And the one thing that is being left in my mind, whenever you hear that, you're like, oh shit, we're gonna have to watch out for this. It makes you a little bit nervous. Like, he's gone off on the rest of the league, but there's one team that he hasn't played, and that's the team that we're playing in the Super Bowl. That can make you nervous, and I understand that nervous energy. But let me go ahead and pipe that shit down right now. Saquon Barkley, again, is the best running back that we have seen in the last 20 years. The Kansas City Chiefs have not seen the number one running back in the last 20 years, Saquon Barkley. He has never played against them. So they don't really know what to expect either. Nobody in this league knew what to expect. Actually, let me take that back. As soon as we got Saquon, everybody knew that everybody was fucked. Um, but there's a lot on this game. There's a lot on this game. I think Saquon is going to be able to rush for over 120 plus yards. I think the Kansas City Chiefs have a record right now going holding opposing running backs to under 100 yards, but good fucking luck, dude. I mean, really, honestly, good luck doing that. Good luck holding him to 100 yards. If you do that, then you deserve the fucking championship. You deserve the Super Bowl. You won't hear me fucking say a damn thing about it. If you can actually hold Saquon Barkley to under 100 yards the entire game, yeah, you won't hear me say a damn thing about it. But I really, truly do not think that that's going to happen. I think Saquon's going to have a good game. I think Jalen's going to have a pretty damn good game, and we're going to win the fucking Super Bowl. Um, it's going to be a tough one. There's going to be some times throughout the Super Bowl where I'm going to be like having a panic attack probably and having anxiety attacks throughout the entire probably second and third quarter. But I think by the fourth quarter, I think somewhere in the second or third quarter, you're going to see Jake Elliott miss a field goal. That is going to be the time that I'm going to be contemplating ending my life. But then right after that, Saquon Barkley is going to take a 60-yard bomb to the house, and I'm going to be right back in it. We're gonna win the rest. We are going to win the rest of the game. Okay, I know that I can't put it into words right now because there's a lot of thoughts going on in my head because a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things happened last year or the last time that we were in the Super Bowl. Lots of things happened last year. Holding call for them to be able to win the game happened last year. Are we going to see something like that again? I think so. I said it in the last episode. I called two questionable calls that lead to scoring drives for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the parlay I have down right now. So, I mean, I truly think that that's going to happen. If you do too, put some money where your mouth is. All right. Enough of all that. Let's stick with the Super Bowl though. I was watching Twitter and I saw probably the best interview. I guess the best sequence of interview questions that I've ever seen at a Super Bowl, especially at a Super Bowl media day. The reporter asked Travis Kelce, "What do you love more, Taylor Swift or phantom 15-yard rushing the passer penalties?" I If you watch the video, and I would show you guys here, but I mean, I don't think the audio comes through for some reason. I'm trying to figure that out, but whatever. Let me just repeat that because I think it's very, very fucking funny what he said. What do you love more, Taylor Swift or phantom 15-yard roughing the passer penalties? I think his reaction to it was very funny. because he just tried to he just shrugged it off or whatever. Didn't really hello, 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 hello. All right. All right. I just wanted to make sure my headset just turned off randomly in that, so I don't really know exactly what just happened. But hey, anyways, yeah, Travis Kelsey being asked if he loves Taylor Swift more or 15-yard roughing the passer penalties. I think that's great. That's exactly the questions that we were waiting to be asked, and we didn't get the answer, but we got the reaction that we were looking for. We got the question we were looking for, and I really think that's all you can really, that's all you can ask for in a situation like this. Right after that, he goes to Patrick Mahomes. For your whole career, you've had so many people, so many great people help you win and do whatever it takes to win. So, who's your favorite ref? I love that. That's comedic timing right there. That's perfect. I love that. Again, it's the questions that we wanted. It's the questions that we asked for. It's the questions we got. Who's your favorite ref? I love that. I love that. Just a little quick jab in there. Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes didn't really have a response to it because why would you? You know, why would you comment or try to give any life to what we've all been seeing for the last couple of years? Really, I mean, if you think about it, if you actually think about it, and we're gonna do an episode on this where I can go very deep on it and do my research so that I'm not just talking bullshit. The How many dynasties have we had in the NFL? A lot of people say, yeah, well, history tends to repeat itself. And that's true. It's very true. History has proven that it tends to repeat itself. But in the NFL, is there anything to that? There's always one team that is in the making of a dynasty, right? And it always seems like every single year, or we'll say every generation, there's a new team, new dynasty. They seem to be winning all the games. Um, and it usually happens for a couple of years at a time, and then it switches over to a new team, and then a new team, and then a new team. But that team, whenever it's their time to do it, they're dominating for that time period. Um, Teams that I can think of right now: Steelers, Green Bay, Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers, Patriots, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure there's more. That could be all of them. I'm trying to think of it right now, and I think that's all of them. So you take all of those. See, a lot of people say that all of this is bullshit because Kansas City is in a small market, and all of this. Why would the NFL be choosing such a small market team to promote them the most? Well, if a player on that team is dating a global icon that is also bringing in a lot of money to that league and to that franchise, um, all while sports betting is legal. Can we not at least look into it? We can't even bring it up. My surprise in all of this is everybody being like, no, no, how could you? How could you? It's like somebody saying that the Bible isn't true. That I totally understand being like, hey man, chill out with that. You know, you hear somebody say that the Bible's not true, like, hey, or okay, man, yeah, you might check them, be like, hey, cut that out. Somebody saying the NFL is rigged and we're treating it with the same energy. Why? Why are we treating it like with the same energy? Why are we treating this league like there's no chance that it can be corrupt? Why is that? Why is it that Kansas City fans a couple of years earlier called out the Patriots for all the bullshit that they did, all the bullshit, all the court dates that they had to go to, all the trials that they were going through, all the what's the right word that I'm looking for? All the allegations that were heading towards the Patriots. That's all day. We could, I mean, you could say that all day. Now, yeah, we brought this up in the last episode. I wasn't alive during the Cowboys run, San Francisco 49ers run, the Green Bay Packers run, any all of that. I wasn't really alive for any of that. So my question is for any of the older people listening, um, what do you guys think about that? Was there a lot of people that were calling out the Green Bay Packers for being like, bullshit? Was it rigged? Did anybody say that it was rigged when the Green Bay Packers were winning, when the Cowboys were winning, when San Francisco was winning? All of this, all of these teams. What was the sports talk around then? That's what we really need to break down. Go back and look at those ESPN days, those um, whatever channel that was covering it. Let's take a look at them. I mean, they're probably not going to be bringing stuff like that up. But I wish there was a way to see exactly what fans thought during that time period and kind of match it up to this time period and see if there's any similarities and see if it is true that history does repeat itself. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot more to it, more, more to look into. But yeah, XFL is still coming up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great time. I am from Texas, and I am from a small town called Balls. I almost, yeah. I am from a small town called Balls, Texas. No, Bells, Texas is where I'm from. Probably not gonna be able to see it on a map, but pretty close to Arlington. They got the Arlington Renegades over there. I am currently in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I would love to see an XFL team here. An NFL team really is what I'm looking for, but an XFL team I'll settle for. If we can get an XFL team here in Oklahoma City, or not XFL, UFL. That's what it's called now. I think they partnered with the USFL, but now they got the UFL. I think that Oklahoma City is a great market to be able to have. I mean, we have OU fans, we have OSU fans. If we have a semi-pro football team to go for, or really a football team to go for, an NFL team to go for, then you have like 100,000 fans right off the bat, because especially if you're gonna strike the iron at any time, do it now because the motherfucker is hot. We got Cowboys fans that are begging for a new team to go for. They're all going to Houston right now. Put a motherfucking Oklahoma City team in Oklahoma City. Put it in the NFL. And I mean, there's fans just waiting. There's fans just waiting for an opportunity to get a new team and to get it to join a new fan base. If I That is a good question. Me being an Eagles fan, would I no longer be an Eagles fan and be a fan of whatever team OKC comes up with? I don't know if I would be able to do that. So yeah, maybe start out in the UFL. I can be a diehard fan for that because I mean that's the only team that I really give a shit about. If you ever watch any of these UFL games, they're very disappointing. They're not as exciting as the NFL because you're working with guys that are not as good, obviously. But it's still something. I think the UFL needs to look into Oklahoma City. You know what? When Stinkbait makes enough money, maybe we will invest into a NFL team or UFL team, and we'll go from there. All right. Let's go into Andy Staples. Andy Staples is a college football enthusiast. I'm not exactly sure who that is. Let me look him up so that I'm not misrepresenting who this guy is. Just one second. Caps lock is on. This guy looks weird. I don't like this guy already. I think his college. So let me just go ahead and explain exactly what we're doing right now. Andy Staples put out a 2026 college football playoffs projection, and I personally have a lot of disagreements with his projection. Obviously, that's why we're bringing it up. I think this is probably one of the worst brackets for somebody that actually does this as a job, like a full-time job. He doesn't do any, I'm guessing he doesn't do anything else. He covers college football. Um, to have this opinion on who's going into the college football playoffs, it has me question a lot about you. I think that you're kind of retarded for doing that, for making this assumption. Where the hell is this at? I know I saw it. Don't worry, guys. Bear with me. We unfortunately don't do any editing or anything like that. We are a raw entertainment company. Staples call. Give me something. Okay. I don't know why that didn't pull up the first time, but whatever. Okay. So we have this. We have college football playoff projecting 12 team field via Andy Staples. So he's the on 30 guy. On three works with nothing but sports. I mean, it's mostly high school football players, high school recruits, and college football players. A lot of college news and everything like that. So that's what this guy does 100% 24/7. I'm taking a look at his, yeah, man, I'm taking a look at this bracket and I am I'm super confused at what I'm looking at. Georgia, we have at number 8. Um, Georgia. Well, we'll go from 12 and then up. He has Tulane. Okay. Uh, why? Where the hell did that come from? Where did Tulane come from? Why would that be the team that you go with? Let's just keep going because this is ridiculous. Number 11, Florida. Where the fuck is that coming from? I mean, I know that they had DJ Lagway. Um, I can't name one other player that they had, and DJ Lagway was injured half of the year. If I had to put money on it, he is same thing is probably going to happen to him. That team is really not that good. I think they are prime for about let's say about 5 losses total. I say 5 losses is the seal or the 5 losses is the floor. 4 losses is going to be the ceiling for them. And how that gets them to number 11 in the college football playoffs, that's questionable to me. I don't know exactly how that works. Um, but I don't know. We did see a lot of questionable things that happened this year in the college football playoffs. So I mean, that on in terms of who got in and who didn't. So, um, yeah, we'll see. Number 10, South Carolina. That's one that I can agree with in terms of them being in the college football playoffs, but um, their ranking, I think that they're going to be ranked a little bit higher. Honestly, I think that they can get to that number 5 spot. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm going to do one of these so that I can give you a good projection of exactly what I'm kind of thinking of, you know. Um, Notre Dame being back in the college football playoffs, it's very possible for that to happen. They as long as they're playing in an independent as an independent school and not in a conference, yeah, they have a chance to do it again, 100%. But they got to win all throughout the games. You know what? To be 100% honest with you, I think Notre Dame is going to be better than they were last year. I think Riley Leonard was pretty good. He showed a lot of heart, especially in that first drive. I was like, man, this is going to be a game. But then the rest of it, they kind of just Ohio State just kind of took off from there and really didn't look back. Notre Dame is still a great team. They have a great coach in Marcus Freeman. Um, they don't have a lot of weapons whenever it comes to the passing game. Not only passing game, the catching game. Obviously, you got receivers out there that are okay. Great House is good. That's a dog right there. Great House is good, good as hell. But the rest of the receivers they had, they weren't really that impressive to me. I think they had a pretty good tight end. But whenever you're working with a quarterback that can't throw the ball, it's going to be hard to win a national championship with. So I think that the only thing that they really need is, yeah, a quarterback to be able to throw the ball. They have two really good running backs that are there. I don't know if they're going to be staying. I hope they do. Uh, One of them over there at Notre Dame is Jadarian Price. Shout out to him, man. That was an incredible season, incredible playoff run. I mean, very. I don't even know who you are. Never really met you. You don't know who I am. Um, but yeah, shout out coming from Denison, Texas. That dude played great, and super proud of him. Even though I don't even really know who you are, I did see you ball out in Denison, and now I get to see you ball out in the national championship. Unfortunately, took a loss, but I definitely think that they have the chance to get back in, depending on who they get matched up with in the college football playoffs. And we'll see exactly how they do. The college football committee does on kind of adjusting some of the rules on who gets in and who doesn't. I think that the conference championship winners, I think that they should definitely get an auto bid, but I mean, what conferences? I don't know. So I mean, I think it gets a little hairy there. My question is, it would make more sense if we're doing a 12 team playoffs. Why not take the top 12 in? Like, why are we ranking teams 1 through 25 if that doesn't have anything to do with the college football playoffs? We're doing that all year. We've done that for forever. Why not take that ranking system and use that for the playoffs, so you can actually make sure that you're staying on top of it more week through week. The rankings mean more. The rankings mean something, and yeah, you can kind of just go from there. I mean, I really think that's the most simple way of doing it, instead of doing the auto bid with the conference championships. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know. A lot more people that are getting paid a lot more than me are up for that decision. So we'll see. Let's just keep moving on. Oregon has a unlimited pocket of money. They can get back to it. They're losing Dylan Gabriel. Who's Oregon's quarterback? I don't. You know what? I'm gonna look it up on my phone real quick. Because I have no idea who Oregon is planning on replacing Dylan Gabriel with. QB. Yes, Dylan Gabriel. So they have Dante Moore. He believes Oregon's backup quarterback Dante Moore really is. I don't. Okay. Dante Moore looks like he was at UCLA as a freshman, transferred over to the Oregon Ducks. He looks like he would fit Oregon's style of play and everything. So I do like that. Oregon, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah. We'll see exactly how that quarterback does, and think he's going to be a junior this year, so or this next coming year. So I think that he should be good. We'll see exactly how they do. They have unlimited money though, so they're going to have receivers, they're going to have backs, they're going to have a defense, they're going to have everything, because they have unlimited NIL money. Now we'll talk about NIL a little bit later. I don't think that we have time for it on this episode, but we'll just kind of run through this a little bit more. Um, Penn State definitely has a shot of getting back to it. They just hired Ohio State's defensive coordinator. Uh, I think their defense is going to be even better than it was last year. They have some really good dogs over there for sure. Do I think that that quarterback is actually good? No, I don't think so. I saw him play against Notre Dame. Saw him play. Uh, think he. Who else did they play? They didn't play Indiana. I think they played Boise State, right? So I saw him play Boise State. Um, wasn't I mean it wasn't like his. I think his name is Aller, Drew Aller. Could be wrong, but I think that's his name. I wasn't impressed about him, to be honest with you. He's got a good arm. Um, it might have just been the passing scheme that I was seeing whenever I was watching the game, but it looked like there was very little deep balls. Any deep ball that he was going to would have been to his tight end, who is actually really good, who probably came down with half of them at least. But I don't know. He didn't seem that confident with the ball, to me. As the scout that I am, he didn't seem that confident with the ball, and he didn't really make me look twice at him or anything. So, do they have the chance to get into the college football playoffs? 100%. Do they have a chance to win it? No, sir. Clemson, probably going to be the same way. Cade Klubnik, I think he's okay. He's a pretty good, pretty solid quarterback. I don't think that he's anybody that makes me turn my head and makes me. I don't have to watch. If I miss a Clemson game, I'm okay, right? I'm totally fine with that, um, because I'm not that impressed by him. It's not like they have a generational player that hasn't been talked about or anything. So I say Clemson has a chance of not even getting into the playoffs. But they also have a chance of getting in. Just depends on how they play and how they do and how they perform. But then playing in the ACC, um, I think Illinois is also in the ACC. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think that Clemson being at number 3 is way too high, though. I think they go a lot lower. Possibly in the double digits, probably at that 10 spot. BYU getting in. They played pretty good. Pretty good. It almost won the conference championship. Does that happen again? Who's running the Big 12 now, man? It's kind of hard to say. Colorado looks good, but lots of changes happening in Colorado. Does that mean do they have a chance to get better? They have Julian Newman coming in. He's going to be a freshman, so I don't know exactly who is being planned on starting over there at Colorado, but we'll see. Oklahoma State, I wish that they could run things, but they didn't even fucking make a dent in the Big 12. They didn't win a game. So, there's that. Texas Tech, I do like Texas Tech, but we'll see how they do. Um, but my hopes aren't high for them. I don't really want BYU to be running the Big 12, but if they win the well, Arizona State actually, I think they just re-signed Dillingham. Watch out for Arizona State getting back into the mix and winning that conference again. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put my 2 cents in. Arizona State wins the Big 12 again and goes back to the college football playoffs for redemption. Probably not gonna win it all, but Dillingham's pretty good. I like him. Um, Ohio State, yeah, they have like a unlimited pocket as well, unlimited money to go around for NIL. They're probably going to be in. Um, so I like that. Texas, um, Texas is going to have Arch Manning. This is going to be his first year playing in the SEC. No, he's not going to be number one in the country. I don't think that Texas is going to be number one in the country. The only way that happens is if ESPN and the college football committee is just riding Texas's dick all throughout the season, kind of like they did uh, this last year. They won them a game against Arizona State and they won a game against Arizona State. I think they also played Clemson. So they beat Clemson, won the game against Arizona State, go to play Ohio State in the national championship and lose. Um, I almost said get their ass beat, but they didn't get their ass beat. They just lost the game, which felt good to me. But we'll see. Do they get back to the point that they're number one in the country? No, because they don't win the SEC championship. Um, Alabama. I'm going to put Alabama over Texas going into the college football playoffs. If there's one team on here, so that I can actually remove and say that they're not getting in, Texas. Texas is that's the team. I think I think they lose about 3 games this year. One of them being in the SEC championship if they make it into that. Depending on how it lays out, because the SEC there could be multiple teams with multiple losses, and the best, the best to go is the best to go. Number 12 though, and this is a lot of you guys already know exactly what I'm gonna say, but um, I want you to sit here. I want you to think about it. I want you to let it marinate and kind of tell me exactly what you really think. Who gets that number one spot? I want everybody to tell me in the comments who gets the number one spot in the college football playoffs next year. Me personally, I am going with another SEC team, the Oklahoma Sooners, in the number 12 spot. I'm also going to take Florida off of the entire board. Um, I don't know. I'm going to do my board, but yeah, that's what I'll do. But number 12, Oklahoma Sooners. We take a few losses, but we got a damn team. We got a good defense. We have a offense. A offense is being installed as we speak. I truly believe that with Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer being the quarterback for us. Our receivers are looking pretty good. Our running back room is looking good. Xavier Robinson is that guy, and he's going to be the next Oklahoma running back. Um, but yeah, I mean, just hold me accountable, guys. Be sure to hold me accountable to my words, because I'm definitely not going to forget anything that I'm saying on here, and I'm going to hold myself accountable, and we'll just see exactly how it goes. But I think that everything that I've said on this podcast so far is not podcast, sorry, TV show. Um, I think everything that I've said so far is correct. Um, and I dare anybody to challenge me on anything that I've said today. I dare you. I give you an open invite to come on the show. And I want anybody that disagrees with any of the points that I had to say today, come on the show, defend your point, and we can go from there. If you don't have anything to say though, if you don't want to come on the show, say anything, shut the fuck up. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. This is stinkbaitTV episode 4. Be sure to like and subscribe, please. I hate saying that, so just do me a solid and do it for me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you on the next one.